Now this photo was taken well after blue hour, but I still think there's a lot we can do with it. So I'm going to start by cropping to 4:3 and then just bringing that crop down so we can really focus in on the emotion of these two here. Next, I'm going to grab one of my presets to use as a base, and I think I'm going to go with B4 for this one. Next, I'm going to go ahead and increase our exposure quite a bit, and as you can see, a lot of the details already starting to come back. Next, what I'm going to want to do is start adjusting some of the magentas in this photo, so I'm going to go down to our tint and push it a lot more closer to the green side. Then I'm also going to increase our warmth quite a bit. Then I want to add a lot more color to this photo, so I'm actually going to push our saturation quite a bit as well. Next, I'm going to start working with my colors here, so I'm going to start with blue and I'm going to push it more towards the magenta so it's not as teal in the sky. Next, I want to grab my reds and push them more towards the yellow or orange. Next, I want to motivate the light a little bit more that's coming in from the left hand side of the frame, so I'm going to start by creating a radial mask and doing it just on the back of his head here. Then once I have that radial mask selected, I'm just going to increase the exposure a little bit as well as increase our warmth, add in a little bit more magenta, and then increase our saturation. Then I'm going to decrease the dehaze a little bit so we can kind of give this effect that the light is bleeding into the photo here. Next, I'm going to create another radial mask. This time I'm going to create it in the center here between their two faces, but I want to subtract him from this radial mask so it just affects her. So I'm going to go ahead and click on subtract and then create a people mask for him and then select entire person. Now I can adjust the exposure on the radial mask and it's just going to lighten up her face. And I think I'm also going to add a little bit more warmth to that radial mask as well. Now I want to add a little bit more saturation to his shirt here, so I'm going to go ahead and create another person mask, but this time just select his clothes. Then once that mask is selected, I'm just going to push the temperature of his shirt more towards the blues here. And I think that'll do it for this one. So here's our before and our after.